Okay, so I wanted to tell you a story about a recent trainee who's gone through our system. He is an interesting case because he actually had been looking at several franchises. He used several franchise brokers, and then the franchise brokers that he used actually offered him to become a franchise broker as well. So he did the research for, all of these different franchises and went through this process. And ultimately, he decided that what he was given and what he was shown wasn't the path that he wanted to take. It didn't align with him completely. And so he continued researching and looking for other brands. Then he came across us, and after going through the process with us, determined that we were the best fit for him. And so he came on board. Last week, he was in our 4th week of the 5-week training program. So he was live in office with us. And some of the things that I learned in conversation with him were not surprising, but disappointing. What I mean by that is he was talking about the different brokers that he used. And one of the things that he mentioned was this one broker that he used, she was very good. He said that she was extremely knowledgeable and she had been in the business for a long time. When we started going through our process and the detail and the minutia within that process, he made the comment that if he had used one of our brokers, he would be in a franchise today because he was getting out of that process what he would have been looking for as a buyer. But because he didn't get that information, he continued looking on his own and found our opportunity. One of the things that he mentioned about the difference, the true difference, and this is a big, well-known brand that the broker was part of. They're a franchise system, and they've been around for over 20 years. This system, he said that the broker, they went through an initial call. They then requested that he do like a profile assessment. And after the end of the profile assessment, she immediately gave him 3 franchises, which matched him, and set up appointments for him to talk to each of these people. And he was discussing with her that none of these seem like something that he's really interested in, but he went along with the process and actually attended the franchisor meetings. I just think it's interesting that in the very beginning of the process, she had one conversation with this individual, one. And through that one conversation, she felt she had enough information about this highly sophisticated buyer to present a solution. And that's not the way that people actually purchase when you're buying a franchise. This is a complicated transaction. It has all different kinds of complexity and different components to it that have to be addressed. And if you think that when you meet somebody one time and you're going to provide them with a franchise that you really can't prove why you're showing them that franchise, at that point, all you're doing is showing them some inventory, which they can get anywhere. So if they can get it anywhere, what's the value in working with you, their broker? That's why we're different. That's why when he was going through the process with us, he was blown away. He did not realize the extent that we take a client through, the efforts that we put into really knowing and understanding them, and then the assistance and support that we provide them throughout the whole process. We're not leaving them to their own devices. These are successful, educated business people, but they don't know franchising. And if they don't know franchising, they're using you, the broker, as their reason why they're either getting the support that you can provide to them and why they would be investing time in working with you. If you're just going to show them listings, I guess you can do that, but what real value are you bringing to the table? If you're actually taking the time, investing in them, and making sure that they get everything they need to make a good decision, then you're doing a good service to them. So I just wanted to take a moment to kind of display what the differences are. When a franchise broker group tells you that after the first call, you can start presenting franchises, then that franchise broker, or whatever they call themselves, they haven't done their job. They haven't done their homework, and they can't present a proper solution to a buyer without knowing enough information about that buyer in the first place. Otherwise, it's just marketing. So anyway, if you want to talk to a real franchise broker, someone who is going to invest the time into making sure that they understand you well enough to present good franchise concepts to you, then reach out to one of our FBA brokers today.